So hello and welcome to another how-to. So this is for something if you want to sort of step up your foam carving game a little bit. This is all completely homemade. You can buy ready-made kits. I just prefer to make my own because I just enjoy doing it and I like to test myself to see if I can do it. So this is how I've done it. So basically I've got my hot wire Foam Factory adjustable cutting bow. So this is the one that can either be 4 foot or 2 foot. You don't have to get this. You can just literally make a simple frame that holds a bit of nichrome wire. I think that's what they call it. Nichrome, whatever. You know what it is. So basically that is attached to the top and the bottom by these clamps. So it's not going anywhere. It's totally fixed to the table. And then the wire is tensioned accordingly. I'm probably going to need to add something to pull this up because obviously as this wire heats up, it expands slightly. And I don't want this coming loose. I mean, it's tight at the minute, but as soon as I heat that up, it's going to want to go slack. So I need something that's got a bit of tension going upwards. I might put a little frame on there, something just to pull it up on a spring or something. So basically all this is I've mounted some wooden posts just to hold it at a right angle position so that it doesn't move. You can be as anal with that as you like. I mean this bow in particular, it does move a little bit. There's a little bit of adjustment, so you can alter that there to basically swing this left and right. So what I do is at the start, before I use it every time, I'll just get my square and just hold it up against the wire and just check that we're level and it's, you know, as square as it needs to be. So what we're doing, this is for the circle cutting jig. So what I'm going to do is I've marked out on here, I don't know if you can see it. So basically this I'm gonna dig out. So I'm gonna dig out these center lines, and then the outer ones I'm gonna get a router and I'm gonna drop them down, well, 20 mil in this case. But basically, so I can run this channel. Just simple angle. So what I'll do is that bit will be that side, something like that. That bit will be that side, like that. So they'll sit in there flush with the top of the bench. So they'll be recessed into the bench. And then I've got this rod, I've got to cut it down a bit because it's way too long. But basically with this clamp system, so that will slot, let me just pop it in here so I can show you. So basically that will, I mean, them bits will go under the table. It doesn't need to cut down because it's too long. So basically you can get the gist of it. Like that is how it will sit with a washer or something on the top and the bottom, basically to clamp it to the bench. And then I can move it. Once I've cut that channel, I can move it up and down where I want in relation to how big I want the circle. And then what you'll do is you'll get the bit of polystyrene or whatever you're cutting. That'll be the center point. So you basically wedge the center of that on there. I might bevel that to a point so that it's like a spike. So you put it on it, and then basically all you'll do is just turn it. And as you turn it, it will pivot on that point and it will cut it to a perfect circle. So I have made one of these before. I made one at my workshop that I had in my garage, but I thought I need to make another one. And the beauty of it being on my workbench is I can move this workbench around. So, you know, I can move it. I can, you know, also with this, I could also make like a little T-section thing. So something that slots in there that I can move up and down. So then it's got a straight edge. So if I want to do long straight cuts, I can move that up and down and do it that way. So that's what I'm aiming for. So I did make one of these before, but this one I'm making it a little bit bigger, a little bit beefier. And the last one worked fine. But this one should work even that little bit better because obviously it's the second one I've done. I might adjust this a little bit because it's a bit rough, let's be honest. I might make it look a bit nicer, but you know, for practicality reasons, does the job. it does what it needs to do. Yeah, just thought I'd show you. So I need to get that cut out, and then I'll get it cut. I'll get the middle channel cut out, get the sides of it routed out to the correct depth, and then we'll glue the channel in probably, because I don't really like to fix it with screws or anything, because this stuff, it bends quite easily, and I want it to be as straight as possible so that I get a perfect sort of 90-degree upright when I clamp that in, because you don't want any sort of, if it tilts, it's gonna affect the circle. Not massively, but you know, if we can get it more accurate, then that's what we want. So this goes up to, I've done it to just over 1 meter long. So in theory, I could cut a 2 meter circle, 2 meter diameter circle, because obviously that'll be the center point to the wire, and then it'll obviously go round. So I could spin. I mean, it's a big, I have spanned big bits before, big circles on the last one. The AU vodka bottle that I did was what I used my other one for. And I've got to do some more, so I thought, let's make another one. Let's make it more robust. Should make the process a bit quicker and a bit more accurate. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get that cut out, and then I'll show you what it's like when it's all in. But yeah, this is for, I mean, you don't need to do this. You can cut a circle by hand. You won't get it perfect if you're doing it by hand, but yeah, I mean, if you're doing small circles, if you're not doing big stuff like this, then I would recommend buying one on like eBay or Amazon or something, like the cheap little jigs that you can get, because they'll do the job, and they'll do the job perfectly. But it's when you're cutting big stuff like this, obviously, then you need to buy the bigger machines, which are like, you know, £1,000, £2,000, and I could just make this, and I'm saving myself a bit of money, and then I can make this how I want it, and I can do it for multiple uses. So that's what I'm doing. So let's get this cut out, get the channels put in, and then I'll show you when it's all finished. So it's all cut out, and I've just laid these in there. So that's basically what you're left with. So you got the channel in the middle with the lips on the edges. Fit them in. And then all I'll do is put a bit of glue on them, and then basically I'll wedge these in. It's gonna let me do it with one hand. Basically wedge them in, they do fit. They're tight, but they do fit like that. So basically it keeps it nice and tight when I'm gluing it. Yeah, anyway, that one goes in a bit easier. So that'll push it in nice and tight. So I've got it so that it's level, if not slightly lower than what the worktop is, just so that you don't catch anything when you're running it over. So they'll just slot in. They're tight, but they need to be, so that once I've glued it, I'll basically bang them in, and it will keep it down and keep them to the sides. And then that's pretty much it. So that's how to make your own circle jig for cutting foam or cutting whatever you want. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been helpful. Just remember that, you know, sculpting foam is as complicated as you want to make it. Refer to some of my other videos to see the simple ways of doing it. Like literally it can cost you next to nothing to start sculpting foam. Obviously the more complex and stuff you get with it, then that's when it's going to start costing you money. But if you just want to do this as a hobby, I can't recommend it enough. It's so therapeutic and it's so simple. Like that's seahorse that I've just done. Yeah, I just love it. I love it. And I wouldn't class myself, I mean, I am fairly artistic, but I'm not like a massive artist. I never have been. But it's just, you just got to get on with it and just do it. Just start throwing some foam around and start hacking away at it and soon. You might surprise yourself with what you can come up with. So here we have the finished product. It's all stuck in. All you have to do is slide that, basically measure it from the wire to where you want it, lock it underneath, and away you go. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, check out some of my other videos. There might be some interesting things in there that you might not know, or it might just help in whatever. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.